Testing, 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 testing. Marcus Speaks. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks Live. I'm your host, Marcus. This is Marcus Speaks Live, the podcast that gives you all kinds of things, such as trending topics, news, you name it, we have it. So tonight, we will be speaking about, if you've seen the thumbnail, I'm pretty sure you have, because you have to click into this video, you have to see it before you click into the video. So, tonight we'll be talking about Tyre Nichols and the debacle of what that is, alright? Also, I have a pre-show as well that starts out the show. It has an array of random topics that I've picked. Tonight, I don't think you guys, I think you guys will like these topics tonight. I'll say that because the last two that I have for you, they're wild as hell. So, if you guys watched my stream last night, as you know, last night was the last God of War Ragnarok playthrough. I finished the game last night. You guys can check the God of War Ragnarok playlist out right now. So you can go over my journey of what I did within the past 12 weeks of that. Also, you guys can check out the Marcus Speaks Live playlist as well. You can check that out. Please go to the Marcus Speaks channel as well. And while you're doing it, as you're going to the Marcus Speaks channel, the Marcus Speaks Play channel that is underneath of this video, it will be going away on March 1st. The reason why I say that is because I'm not getting any traffic over there. I've notified the 3-4 subscribers that I have over there. If you guys are watching this and you are subscribed to that channel, it's fine, but please come over here because I will be doing everything here on the Marcus Speaks channel after March 1st. So, with that being said, underneath of the Marcus Speaks Play link that is in the description box, please go to my Rumble. My Rumble link is sitting there waiting for you to go over there and subscribe to me. Rumble is just like YouTube. It's just you can get away with more things. You can talk about more. You don't have an algorithm breathing down your neck, stuff like that. So go over there, head over to Rumble. My first 25 subscribers, I will be able to start streaming live over there. So once I get those 25 subscribers, Marcus Speaks Live will start streaming live over there as well. So make sure you head over there and subscribe so I can start streaming. All right. If you would like to come up here and speak to me tonight, you can. There's a link in the live chat. Please head over if you're not already in the live chat. Go over to the live chat. Let's talk about what I have in store for you guys tonight. With that also being said, when you hit the link, there are 3 rules when you hit the link. All right. So those rules are: please, if you could, have to be on camera at all times. I say that because I need to know who I'm speaking with. All right, so at all times you must be on camera. Other than number two, if you don't want to be on camera to the public, to everyone else, that is fine. But when you come back here to the backstage, you have to be on camera so I can know who I'm speaking with. There's a question back here. If you would like to be on camera or not, please answer the question. Don't make it a conversation back here in my private chat. Let me know if you do. If you do not want to be on camera, because I will make that happen for you. So once you're ready, when I see if you want to or if you don't want to, I'll make sure that I'll um I'll make that happen for you. And rule number 3, people. Please silence all background noise if you could. I'm trying to run at least a semi-professional show here. So if you guys silence your background noise if you have me on in the background, either on your television, your tablet, your phone, your computer. Turn me down if you're going to hit that link and come up here and speak with me, because I don't want to hear myself, nor do I want to be copyrighted, if anything, for you playing music in the back. Please silence all background noise. Find a nice secluded spot in your house and we can get the conversation going, all right? And if you could, please like this video, subscribe if you are new here, and hit that share button if you could, and share this to your respective social medias. All right. So with that being said, people, I have a great show lined up for you tonight. As you do know, I will be speaking about the Tyre Nichols situation and how all of that is affecting the nation. So with that being said, before we get into that main topic of the night, I do have 3 topics lined up for you tonight in the pre-show. Really it's 2, but it's 3 altogether, so you get what I'm saying here. So you guys, I will be speaking about in tonight's overview of the. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get into that, if you guys have ever watched my channel, you do know when I do my podcast show, I like to play videos. It helps me further my point of what I'm going to be speaking about, and it helps you understand more what I'm speaking about tonight. So, with that being said, instead of me telling you exactly what fair use is, because not only is it a federal law, it is also a YouTube policy, and I would like to follow both. So, um, all videos are credited in the description box, and I will be crediting all of the articles and videos that I have for you guys tonight, so they can get their propers over there where I'm not being fucked with anymore. So, with that being said, instead of me telling you exactly what fair use is, I'll just let someone else tell you. Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you about fair use. It's the law. Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. That was beautiful. Now you guys know what fair use is. Also have fair use in the description box, so I'm not being fucked with. So, but before I get to the main show, let's get into a little bit of banter before I get into the show. And we are on, or we are in Black History Month. This is the 4th day, and I want to share a gripe that I have. And if this person is watching my channel, you might want to listen up, because you might want to go to HR on Monday. So, as you know, I bring up certain people that I work with because I feel as though these people are interesting, or they're funny, or whatever, or they say some funny things. So, over the course of the past 3 weeks, I have been being trained at my job in a certain section of my department, because I know a lot of other things that I showed that I'm highly capable of learning and executing my job well, stuff like that. So, I get opportunities to learn other things in my department. So, I have been training lately, as I said, for the past, I would say maybe, probably has been maybe 3 weeks now. And I'm starting to see this as a trend when I get trained. Now, I'm not a stupid person. Like, I can pick up on something very fast. Like, doesn't take long. Uh, I'd highly disagree with the length of time. What's going on, BD? How you doing, man? Uh, I I highly disagree with the length of time that they have us trained to certain things, because me myself personally, I'm not a dumb person. I can pick up on something very fast. So for me to learn something within 3 weeks is a insult to my intelligence, for the simple fact that, and I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I'm probably the most intelligent person it on my shift at my job. Now, when it comes to first shift, it could be somebody more intelligent than me, but I don't speak to first shift because I don't get to see first shift. So, um, I can only uh speak about what I do personally. So, um, as I said earlier, I've been training lately, right? And certain someone that I've been training with, and I brought this person up a lot on my show. It's this older woman that I work with, Miss Shirley, black woman. And when I see certain, and she's a trainer there. So when I see other trainers, when I compare her to my trainer when I first started the job, and other people who have trained, and people that they've trained and stuff like that, when it comes to the amount of numbers of people trained, and I'm speaking about all the trainers, the other Caucasian people have more people that are trained in and trained in other things as well. When it comes to Miss Shirley, it's not a lot of people. She made people cry. People have walked out from training with her. Some people have cussed her out from training with her. Me, myself, personally, she's an older woman. I don't really pay her too much mind because I've been there for what, almost 8 years, maybe. Um, and yeah, I've been there what, 8 years, maybe coming up on 9, come June, maybe. And then next year I'll be within the company 10 years. So yes, it's been 8 years and some change. I've been at the company. I've been doing this particular job for approximately 6 years now. So, eh, I'm a jovial person. I like making people laugh. I like clowning around, stuff like that. So, but when it comes to learning something, I buckle down. I don't speak. I don't say anything. I make my attention more on what I'm trying to learn. So I'm not making it hard on my trainer or whoever's teaching me a certain job. So when it comes to Miss Shirley likes to use her "I'm older than you" card a lot, and that's not really a good thing to use against me because I know a lot of dumb older people. So, and I've worked with a lot of dumb older people as well. So, and I'm not calling her dumb. She's not a dumb person, but I do have a issue with this. So if I'm learning a job from someone that I'm working with that is a trainer, and I'm learning from you, I I am personally a reflection of your training. So when it comes to somebody learning from you and you have an issue with how someone is taking in information, then that becomes an issue because it's a reflection of your training. Now, as I said, she's not a dumb person. I'm not a dumb person. I get exactly what she's saying. I know her teaching style because she's trained me on something else as well. But the only issue I have with uh her training is that when you're not doing something her way, she has an issue with it. So then it becomes an issue within the whole process, is because you're not doing something that she told you to do. Now, I'm not the person that you tells I'm not the type of person you tell something to. You ask me, or you tell me in a way that is helpful. You don't outright say whatever the fuck you want to me. So so Wednesday, right? Wednesday, I wasn't having a bad day. It's just I'm fucking tired of looking at her. I'm tired of being trained. I know what the fuck I'm doing at this point. Why am I still doing this job that I know that I'm able to do? Uh as me being trained, it's like I know what I'm doing. I know how to pick things out. I know how to set things up. So why is it that I'm still being trained? So Wednesday, she tells me that well, she asked me, do you feel as though that you're ready to get signed off? I said, yeah, I am ready to be signed off. It's been 3 weeks. I'm tired of looking at you. So go ahead, when it comes to the point to if our shift lead asks you if I'm ready, tell her, yeah, I haven't showed you that I'm incapable of doing this job. So why is it taking so long for me to be signed off? So she said, okay, well, if you're ready to be signed off, um, why do you feel as though that you're ready to be signed off? Well, I said very condescendingly, but I was, within a way of joking as well. I'm tired of looking at you. Like I'm really tired of looking at you. Like I'm capable of doing this job. It's been I showed you outside when you was training me on that I was highly capable of doing that job. Now we're here doing this. I'm highly capable of doing this job. If you feel as though that I'm not ready, then obviously there's something within your training, your personal training, that you're having an issue with. And it's not me, because I obviously been doing some great shit while training. Um what else did I want to go over with that? Oh, so her black ass uh later on that night decided to say some bullshit to me because, okay, yeah, I might have missed doing something that had to be done. Okay, my that's okay. I understand that, but I'm still training, and not only that, most of the time when it comes to my fuck ups is usually I'm not signing on to something, or I didn't write something in that should be wrote in um for someone else to verify it. So it's like I do this constantly, even with the shit that I already know. A lot of people do that shit as well at my job. Most of the time, first shift forgets to sign on, or forgets to print a paper out, or forgets to do something to where it'll help second shift with their job, and it has to be put on hold. So this shit just doesn't happen with me. It happens with a lot other employees. So back to Miss Shirley. So she decided to come out of her mouth and tell me that I missed doing something, and we was working on something that I hadn't worked on that week, but I did that week before or whatever. So my whole thing is if you're a trainer, it's your job as a trainer, because I've trained before, just haven't trained at that job or within that department. I haven't trained because I refuse to train anybody or learn, how to train, how the company wants people to train. I refuse because it's ridiculous how they do it. So I told her, your best, instead of you getting smart, why don't you just reiterate something that you feel as though that I don't understand, or just reiterate it because this is a refresher. Like I don't do this job yet until I get signed off. So why is it that it's an issue that you feel as though that I'm having a problem with something? It's not that I'm having a problem with anything. It's that your training is whack. So I didn't really cuss her out. I jokingly basically told her I was basically telling her do better. Like, you're supposed to be the number one person that uh the shift lead goes to for answers when it comes to stuff, right? So if you're the number one person and it's really not showing at this point, why is it that you just can't reiterate something that you went over last week before you sign me off? Because we're refreshing this. I don't do this, so it will be a refresher to me. I wouldn't, the paperwork isn't hard to figure out because I basically see this paperwork when I'm doing another job or whatever within the department. Um, the paperwork isn't hard to figure out. It's not hard to fill out. It's not hard to navigate. Uh, Collecting things that I need for the job isn't hard because it's right there next to me. So it's like, what's the issue? Like, I don't understand the issue. So after me, basically tearing her a new one jokingly to her, like I was joking around. I didn't think much of it after I said the shit. So the next day, Thursday afternoon, when we get to work, she after our stretch program, she pulls the shift lead to the side. I see it. I don't think nothing of it because I thought that the shift lead wanted to speak to her about something that had to do with something else. I didn't really think much of it. So I said, forget it. So I'm getting ready for my day. I'm wiping tables down and stuff like that. Then when I'm about to start my job, I get called over by the shift lead, and she asks me, and this always happens when it comes to me. This has happened everywhere that I've worked at. It, Everyone asks me this stupid question. So what happened last night? Uh, as far as what? Like I was here. I was here all night. Then I went home. What do you mean? What happened last night? So my shift lead then goes, well, two people have came up to me and said that you were being disrespectful to Miss Shirley last night. I said, oh, that's what you want to know. I said, keep going. She said, well, I spoke to Shirley and she told me that, that you were being rude to her last night. So what happened? I said, well, that was me and Miss Shirley being me and Miss Shirley because, basically to shift lead is, when we work together is always us talking loud to each other. So, like I said, I didn't see, what the problem was. So my shift lead then goes and says, well, she found an issue with what you said to her last night, and she doesn't want to sign you off because she doesn't think that you're ready. I said, oh, okay, well. So my shift lead was like, well, do you want to do the job? Like, do you think that you're ready to be signed off? I said, yeah, I've been ready since the first week. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, why is it? And I said this to Miss Shirley. I said, why is it that every time when I go and train, it takes me 3 weeks to train on anything as far as when it goes to something else within the room. Like the allotted time that y'all give for the main process, that's 6 to 8 weeks. So, I didn't really need 6 to 8. All I needed was 4. Because my trainer told me my first month, you already know what you're doing. I'm just sitting here, looking at you when you work, and I don't see anything that you're doing wrong. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get you signed off early, but we do have a 6 to 8 week window of people learning this process. I was like, okay, fine, no problem. Just whatever you think that you feel as though that I'm capable of doing, then okay, fine. That was with another trainer when I first started the job. Excuse me, when I learned another aspect of something else on the job, since at the time they were just doing it as, because like this particular job, people rotate at doing it. So like when I was being trained at that particular job, my trainer at the time, she was being, whenever her day was when she would go up, that's when she would train me. So that that took me like 2 weeks. So I didn't find like an issue with that. So it was like, she's only training me when she gets to do that job. So, I'm only over here when she gets to come over here. So I didn't have an issue with that. So, another aspect of the main job within the department, it took me a week to learn because it takes everyone a week to learn. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying? It's manufacturing. It's repetitive. Like it's not gonna be hard. So, you know, probably what that was my first 2.5 years there. I was learning stuff. I kind of pushed learning anything else like to the side because I wanted to get better at what I was doing. And then just recently, come like 2000, like 2000, 2020, 2020, 2021, I started wanting to learn more stuff because I thought I was ready at this point to learn other things. So I learned another aspect of the job. That took me 3 weeks. I had an issue with that. I said this in countless meetings that I had with my shift lead and, this person that helps me out and stuff like that with getting information on certain stuff. And then with this here job, it's taken 3 weeks for with it's taken 3 weeks, and I don't understand the issue of why only me. When I watch other people get trained, it may take them like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks to learn something, and then they're getting signed off, and they're going about the job as if they've known it forever. But when it comes to me, I'm like, well, why does it take me so long to be signed off? So I say all of this to say that I say all of this to say this woman snitched on me to try to get me in trouble as if I was going to allow me to get in trouble. It's like, I don't know if you, and I'm speaking to her directly, I don't know if you watch me say certain things within the room. Because I do certain things on purpose. Because once you're at a job for a long time and you know who's the chatty patty, and there's a lot of chatty patties on my shift, I say all of the wrong things to them. So just so I know if they go and snitch, I know who said it. So if I say I don't know, fuck upper management, like they ain't shit, right? If I say something like that to one of these chatty patties, if I only particularly told one of those people, and then it gets back to me by way of floor management, I already know who the fuck said it. So I get to act dumb. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, who would say something like that about me. Just so once they hear it back, well, he said he didn't know what I was talking about and he would never say anything like that. Then I can start looking at that person like, I know you fucking said something, which is good because I wanted you to say something just to see if you would go and say something. So that allows me to know once new people come in to the room, I can automatically pinpoint to them, don't say shit to this person. This person goes and snitches. Don't talk about your personal business. Don't talk anything about the job aspect. Just keep it in certain avenues that you know that if it comes back to you won't have a problem with it. I let each and every last new person know who to actually talk to about personal issues. Now, if they have like a personal issue with me, I'm barely listening to them. So it's like they can go on and say whatever the hell they want about whatever. And tomorrow, if they say, do you remember what I said to you yesterday about such and such? I'll be like, nah, I was barely listening to you. Like, I don't really care about someone's personal business or life when it comes to the job. Nor do I care about someone else's feelings about what the hell I say. So with that being said, Miss Cheryl, if you ever watch this podcast video, just know if you don't sign me off, there's going to be a fucking issue. All right. If you don't sign me off, we will be going to HR because you have an issue with what the fuck you say to people and how you say it. So if you want to feel emboldened by going first, that'll be even a bigger issue for you because then that allows me to say everything that I want to say to HR. Because personally, I like protecting people at work. If someone gets in trouble and someone needs me to input anything that I saw, I'm not saying shit. I'm just gonna say, well, I don't really know what happened. I wasn't really paying attention. Like I heard some commotion, but I didn't pick my head up. Like I just heard some people arguing or whatever, and I guess it got out of hand. I don't know. Like it's just it is what it is. Like I don't say shit to get people in trouble. For the other troublemakers at any job that likes getting people in trouble, just know your number is always coming because then the job sees you as an issue. I hope people understand this. When you snitch on people at a job and you're the main person snitching, you then become the issue because then management starts thinking, well, maybe that person wasn't a big deal. Like maybe they weren't, you know, the issue when it came to that. Maybe it was this person. So maybe we should start keeping more track on what they do. Because I've seen this shit happen countless fucking times at other jobs. It's like when you get people in trouble at work, it's like it's like if you're the main person saying something, you then become the main villain. So, and people like me at my job. I would like to put that out in the open. People love me. Like I'm like this big, lack of a better term, I'm this big teddy bear everybody likes to come and hug, metaphorically. So it's like, why in the fuck is a older black woman trying to chop down a young black man trying just to come to work and whatever? I don't understand this. I don't understand this. And this shit happened. Didn't this shit happen in Black History Month? I don't understand that shit either. So just know, Miss Shirley, I'm on to you. I'm on to you. And I will not be going back to that station until I get signed off. I will not pick a finger up, nor will I pick a toe up to even walk over there. I will not. I will leave and go home before I walk over there to start doing some work that I already know how to do, but I just need to be signed off on. So, Miss Shirley, if you're watching, and if anyone else from the job is watching, just know if you have an issue with this, come talk to me. That's all you have to do. And that's the end of that bullshit. Let's get into today's show. I have a great pre-show for you guys. The pre-show it consists of, and I will get to your comments after this, BD. The overview is egg factory burns. Go figure, because we're having a lot of issues with egg prices. And grown-ups get caught going back to school. Now, I want you guys to pay close attention to that to those topics, because it's a big thing going on right now with this shit. So, before I get into any of those, my trusted homie BD, better known as Big Dicky over here on this channel. As I was speaking about this whole like bullshit at my job, BD says Caucasian people, yuck. Being rude to Wayman equals disagreeing with their bullshit. Well, he does have a point on that. American is doomed people because just shut up and do their jobs. They gotta play games and make things personal. Exactly. Like, why do you come to work to make shit personal? Just go to work, do your job, and shut the fuck up. That's all you gotta do. That's what I do. I don't say shit to nobody out of term at all. Hold on, before I get into the show, let me just tell this quick story real fast. So for 3 weeks time, I saw some shit happening only to teams that I was on, right? So after the third time, I flipped the fuck out. And guess who I flipped the fuck out in front of? Upper management. Do you know what upper management wanted to ask me? Can we walk outside and talk? No. We're not walking outside talking about shit. What we gonna do is the motherfuckers that's been telling me with the people that I'm supposed to be working with on a daily basis, telling me that we're not gonna get something done just because they want to take up 3 tables and stuff like that. Nah, the hell with that. They're gonna do whatever they have to do, and we're gonna do whatever we have to do. We wiped this station down. We made sure everything was clean, everything was in order. We're staying here. The hell with what they're talking about, where they want us to be. And we wound up getting more out than the motherfuckers that was talking shit. So I don't understand this. I don't understand why people come out of their mouth at work and talk greasy to motherfuckers. Like, literally, personally with me, I keep my gangster dormant. I have to, because if I let an inkling of that nigga out, I'm going to fuck the jail and I'm getting fired. Like, I have to be the jovial, funny guy at work. I can't be the get the fuck out my face before I punch you in your face type of dude, because I know I'm gonna be fired. So just know, anybody who's watching my show that works in my department, because I tell them about my podcast all the time, just know, talk nice to me. All right? Talk nice to me, because if you don't, there's going to be a fucking issue. And I'm not saying any of this to scare anybody. I'm not saying any of this to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I'm saying this is because I care about your well-being. All right? So chill the fuck out. Watch how you talk to me, and we'll be the best of friends. Now, let's get into today's show. Egg farm fire investigation is in Connecticut is underway. So if you guys haven't heard this story lately, there was an egg farm that went ablaze this week, if not last week. As you guys know, egg factory farming, I guess it's been an issue with what's been going on with that, because eggs has been through the roof, like, as far as pricing. Like, as I told you guys, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, that I went to the grocery store and went grocery shopping. When I looked at the price of, I just looked at one price of eggs. I just glanced over there. I saw $7.17. So they're saying that due to a bird flu, which isn't transmitted to humans, H1N5. You guys don't know the scientific not calculation, orientation, I don't know, of the virus H1N5. I learned that when I was in my early 20s, when the swine flu H1N1 was going on. So a lot of chickens have been falling ill with bird flu, and it's been killing them. So which means that they have to call all of the hens, then they have to throw away the eggs, and then they have to do away with the body. So I'm guessing since they're doing all of that, egg prices has increased. So with that being said, it's like, what the hell is going on with that situation? That egg prices is going up and all of that. And this one farm, which I believe brings eggs to a few states, it's an issue now. So, and yes, BD, I am a bigger guy. I'm 6'2", 6'2" in a quota, as this machine said when I was in North Carolina. And also I weigh a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the tip top shape that I used to be in, all because of the pandemic, all shit like that. But I'm a big dude, so it's like I try to be as careful with people as possible, and I try to be as nice to people as possible. Other than that, if you fuck with me, you ask for it. Basically, that's just my personal opinion. Oh, so anyway, so yeah, a lot of this stuff has been going on with these chicken farms, and let's see what's going on. So this video that I have for you right now is by WFSB3, and the article that I will be reading to you guys tonight is from Fox Business. So let's get into that. Let's get into this video, and without further ado, here we go.
At 5 o'clock, we are learning a lot more about a huge fire at an egg farm in eastern Connecticut.
This all happened on Saturday at Hillendale Farm in Basra. This is video right here of fire and smoke just ravaging a large chicken coop there. And today we learned the farm lost 100,000 chickens in that fire.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Mark Robbins is live at the farm tonight with more on what he is learning here. Mark?
Well, good evening, guys. Yeah, we can tell you you're right. About 100,000 chickens were perished in this blaze that happened Saturday afternoon around 1 o'clock. Now, things are getting, business is going back to some sort of normalcy today. I can tell you, I don't know if it's exactly typical, but we did see big rig trucks going in and out of the farm all afternoon while we've been here. And again, this fire claimed 100,000 chickens. This video from a viewer, Arnold Alina, shows the billowing smoke that could be seen from a couple of towns over on Saturday. The mid-afternoon blaze occurred in one of the large two-story chicken coops at Hillendale Farms in Basra. These coops are between 300 and 400 feet long, and they house hundreds of chickens.
We've had fires over here before, but nothing like this. Like that whole side of the sky was completely engulfed in smoke and dark smoke, and we couldn't see any flames, obviously, but it was pretty bad.
Several towns responded to a call for mutual aid, and that aid may have been a key to helping keep the damage to a minimum.
Around, and there was tanker trucks, I'm telling you, just constantly coming down the road. Every 3 to 5 minutes they were coming down the road.
The fire was extinguished in a couple of hours. Video from Drone 3 doesn't show much permanent damage. This operation is one of Hillendale's farms that spread out over 6 states. Hillendale is one of the top 5 largest egg farm operations in the country, housing more than 20 million chickens. The farm in Basra supplies eggs for much of the East Coast, including brands like Eggland's Best. Outside of the death of the chickens, there have been no reports of injuries. The work of the various fire departments impressed Crystal.
I think our Basra department was really on top of everything and trying to contain everything as quickly as possible.
The fire marshal is leading the investigation, working in part with the Connecticut Department of Agriculture. There doesn't yet appear to be a clear incident or moment in which the fire began.
No, none whatsoever. I didn't even hear a big boom or didn't even smell the smoke or no ashes were flying anywhere. Nothing like that.
So the investigation continues. Hillendale Farms not exactly coming forward with a lot of comments for the media. They've had one statement put up on their website saying they support the investigation, and that's all they're going to say at this time. Reporting live in Basra, Mark Robbins, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Okay.
BD, you are stupid. But you aren't the only person that I heard say that. Now, if you guys are looking at the screen, BD said that his homegirl said that she'll be painting potatoes this Easter, right? That's not the first time that I've heard that. Like, that's what y'all gonna be painting this year is some potatoes, because ain't shit going on with potatoes. But everybody, if you could, please listen up. I hope they got all those roasted chickens out there, and I hope they season the motherfuckers well. Because with a fire like that, shit, that chicken had to be delicious. That's all I gotta say about that. So, okay, it's cool. You good? But anyway, as you can see, the blaze that happened. Oh my gosh, 165,000 hens killed in the fire. That's a lot of hens that are basically producing, eggs for whatever. You gotta look at everything that eggs are in. You got cakes, bread, cookies, shit, noodles. So it's a lot of companies that are going to be without, if they're not paying top dollar and they're not raising their prices as well. But you got to look at that as well. What also other things that eggs are in. So you got to look at your bread that you're going to be buying at the store. Is that going to go up because of inflation right now? Is your junk food's going to go up because of egg prices are sky high now. Like we probably going to be paying. Listen up. We probably going to be paying like $20 a carton pretty soon. Just check that. Y'all thought during the pandemic the toilet paper crisis was fucked up? Wait until the egg crisis. Everybody gonna be losing their shit. It's gonna be motherfuckers coming to you. Look, I suck your dick for 2 eggs. Like it's like hold the fuck up. Like nah, cuz like nah. But it's gonna be a shitstorm out here, dog. But let's get into today's article by Fox Business. Egg farm investigation in Connecticut is underway. So, an investigation into a blaze at an egg farm in Basra, Connecticut, is currently ongoing. Egg producer Hillendale Farm said in a Monday statement published on the company's website that its team continues to work closely with the local fire departments and state officials on the investigation into a recent fire. The fire at the Hillendale Farm property in Basra was reported at about 1 p.m. Saturday and drew dozens of firefighters from the area. Officials said the blaze was extinguished Saturday night. The cause was not immediately clear. John Way, a safety officer for the Basra Volunteer Fire Company, said the building that caught fire was large, about 300 to 400 feet long and 2 stories high, and housed an unknown number of chickens. Well, the way that they stuffed those chickens in those coops at that at these places, there's probably at least a good like 100 or so, if not more, chickens within a coop where they stick their heads out, get water and get feed or whatever. And we'll get into the feed thing in a minute too. It's hundreds of these damn things, and they have their feed. They have their feed laced with steroids so they can build themselves up faster. That's what the manufacturer does. They give these chickens steroids so their bodies get fatter quicker and bigger quicker. But if you guys have watched what is that? I believe it's Super Size Me probably, where they show the chickens taking like 2 steps and then plopping down and shit like that. Like the way that they chicken farm is ridiculous. But let's keep going. Um, Due to the blaze, one chicken house was lost, according to the Hillendale Farms. None of the other buildings, the company said, were compromised in the incident. We are deeply grateful that no employees were hurt in the fire, the company's statement went on to say. Although it remains under investigation, we are working with local and state authorities to determine the cause. We appreciate the tremendous response from local fire departments their uh for their swift action and the continued support from across our industry. There are reports the fire killed some 100,000 chickens. The Connecticut Department of Agriculture said the effect the deaths of the chickens will have on the cost of eggs is projected to be minimal to none, according to the Associated Press. Americans have experienced a spike in egg prices in the past year. Uh, Bureau of Labor Statistics data showed that between December 2021 and December 2022, the average price of a dozen large grade A eggs in a city has risen to 137%, going from 100 sorry, $1.79 to $4.25. Jesus Christ. But as I told y'all before, I forgot what show I said this on, but when it comes to when I buy eggs, I only buy like the 6-pack if I'm like baking something, which is usually something small, maybe like cornbread or maybe biscuits or something like that. But other than that, I never buy eggs like at all. Like if I'm making homemade fried rice and I want to put egg in it, it's usually just one egg, if not two. It's 2 eggs. So usually from whatever I was doing way before, like baking like some biscuits or some cornbread or something like that, there's usually 2 eggs in there. If they're not bad, if I decide to make homemade fried rice, I'll just throw those in some oil, scramble them up, set them to the side, and then make my fried rice. Um, but other than that, I never buy like cartons of eggs. Like I do know an ex girlfriend of mine, when she would go grocery shopping, she would get like the three like at Walmart they have like three dozens of eggs, I guess, if not 24 count of eggs or whatever. She would buy those, and I believe the price of those was like $3 and something, I believe. So eggs prices have risen. So anyway, let me finish this off by saying factors that have been pointed to as having an impact on high egg prices include production related costs going up and the bird flu. Also, what they've been saying with certain like local farmers who give out like farm raised chicken eggs or whatever. Recently the feed that they've been feeding the chickens has been causing the female chickens, the hens, to not produce any eggs. And one company that I know of which I believe they've said is the cause of this is Purina. Purina, as they make dog food, they make cat food, stuff like that. They also make certain farm animal livestock feeds as well. But I've heard with the Purina brand of chicken feed is not allowing the hens to produce any eggs. So, if you guys don't know, on like regular farms with people who basically live off of their land, they grow their own food, or they raise their own chickens and goats and stuff like that, and cows for slaughter or whatever. uh a lot of these private farmers haven't been producing eggs either, because most of the time those guys who do the regular private farming, most of the time they sell whatever they're not going to use because they don't want the eggs to go bad, so they usually just sell them or whatever. Recently they haven't been really getting a lot of yield, or they've been getting a lot of yield. I guess I'm saying that right now. They've been getting a lot of yield from their hens laying eggs from the feed that they're giving them. So some private farmers have switched over to goat feed to give their chickens, and just like that, their chickens started producing eggs again. So I don't know, man. Like something has to give to where they'll tell us something about what's going on, why this recent strand of bird flu has gotten to these chickens and stuff like that. We have to know something. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they got a some new hens in. Most hens, I don't know the time frame of when they can keep hens, but maybe the hens that they were having were getting old, so they sent them to McDonald's and chopped them up into chicken McNuggets, and then they got the new hens in, and those hens had bird flu, which gave all of the chickens bird flu. So maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. I'm not a farmer, so if you guys know some information, y'all write that in the live chat or the comment section after the show. So that's that whole issue. Let's get into the next part of the show. Grown-ups going back to high school, as told by the New York Times. Now, if you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about, there has been two incidents, I guess I'm saying it right, of grown-ass adults going back to high school. Like, if you guys have ever heard me speak about my time in school, you would know that it's a particular grade that I always talk about, which is the 12th grade, my senior year in high school. Although I had a lot of other great years in school, it was just something about my senior year that I loved so much. Although, my junior year in high school, I was the best and the freshest dressed every day. Maybe, I don't know. But the my senior year was probably my best year, and I always say to people, if I could relive any moment, if I could go back in time and relive any moment in my life, I would go back to my senior year in high school. That was my most favorite time in the world. Like, I learned a lot that year. This is why. Me and one of my best friends weren't talking after I went to the beach with her and another one of my homeboys and a girl that she knew. And me and the girl that she knew wound up hooking up. That's neither here nor there. But me and the girl wound up hooking up, and then I started not receiving phone calls, or if I would go to my homeboy's house, he wouldn't answer the door, or he would have his little brother or his older brother tell me that he wasn't home, or whatever. It's like, all right, whatever. That helped me along in life because me and him don't speak to this day. Like, we became friends again in our senior year, but a little bit into our adult years, and of us being 20 and stuff like that, we stopped talking. Although he's still one of my homeboys, still see him as one of my homeboys, we just don't speak. So that got me ready for the real world. There's a lot of other friends I don't speak to right now, and it's not because of we fell out or anything. It's just, I learned that most of your friends you won't keep talking to at all the rest of your life. Like, I thought me and my homeboys was gonna be homeboys, for the rest of our lives. I can say right now I have maybe 3 friends. 3 close best friends. My homeboy Josh, my homeboy Darian, and my homeboy Darnell. Those are the three of my best friends. So, okay, something's going on with my stream. There's a lot of clipping going on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, I guess it's good now. I guess, I don't know. I kept hearing like clipping going on and like it started chopping up. So anyway, so getting back to this topic. So there has been 2 instances, or I'm gonna quit saying that word. It's been 2 recorded things of 2 adults enrolling in school and getting away with it for a minimal amount of time. Now, this first video that I will be showing you guys comes from Fox 4 Dallas, in fact, Fox 4 Dallas Fort Worth. And Big Dicky says, it's natural after high school. I lost contact with all my homies, but I got new homies in my adult life, but I don't have too many homies focused on work. Well, damn, you need to tell your homies to get up there and get a fucking job, man. Anyway, so this first video that I have for you guys talks about the first individual of him going back to school. Here we go.
A 26-year-old Mesquite man who at 25 posed as a high school student and illegally dated a teenage girl just 16 will not spend any more time in jail. In 2017, Sidney Gilstrap Portley pretended he was a Hurricane Harvey evacuee to relive his high school basketball days at 2 Dallas ISD schools. For that, and for what he did to a 14-year-old girl, he got just probation. He'll also have to register as a sex offender. Fox 4's Allison Harris spoke to the man's attorney today. She is live in downtown Dallas. Allison.
Steve, his attorney actually told me today that he really thought he was going to go to college and play basketball after this second fake high school stint. Instead, he's not going to be serving any more jail time. He could have spent years in prison. The now 26-year-old man who posed as a 17-year-old to play high school basketball in Dallas and date a 14-year-old girl is getting 6 years probation.
He tried to take advantage of an opportunity. It did not go well.
Sidney Gilstrap Portley's attorney says his client is very remorseful about lying, first enrolling at Skyline High School in 2017, claiming he was a homeless Hurricane Harvey evacuee, then later enrolling at Hillcrest High School and playing for the basketball team. During that time, at age 25, posing as Rashawn Richardson, he got into an illegal relationship with a 14-year-old girl. Last year, the girl's mother shared with Fox 4 text messages that she says Gilstrap Portley sent her after she questioned his age, stating, "I would like to meet you as well so that you can feel at least a little comfortable with her being around me. That's why I had her home before 8:45, so you won't think nothing extra going on." Gilstrap Portley had actually graduated from North Mesquite High School in 2011. It was a former North Mesquite coach who recognized him.
He knows it wasn't a good decision. He knows that if he had another chance that he would do it all over again and he would not put himself in a situation.
Gilstrap Portley was facing up to 20 years in prison and a $10,000 fine for 3 counts of tampering with a government record and indecency with a child, but through a plea deal, walked away with only probation. He will have to register as a sex offender. in the 2 years since he somehow passed as a student. Dallas ISD says it has strengthened its enrollment process, stating, "We now request more documentation from students' previous schools and intensify our follow-up efforts to ensure that this type of situation does not happen again." There is a law that requires school districts to go ahead and accept and enroll homeless students, even if they don't have the proper documents. That's what Dallas ISD has had to be stricter on because of all of this.
All right. Just to let you guys know, what's his name? Sydney Gilstrap Portley scored 127 points that game. So, big shout out to him for scoring that. Anyway, so yeah, this shit is running rampant. Like, this isn't just the first time this has happened. So let's get into the article. So, a 25-year-old man who officially officials say posed as 17 so he could once again take to the basketball court as a high school athlete attending Dallas high schools for nearly 9 months before his arrest last week. Sydney, I'm not even going to say his middle name, but Sydney Gilstrap Portley began the school year at Skyline High School, where he enrolled claiming to be a Hurricane Harvey refugee. Months later, he moved to Hillcrest High School and joined the basketball team. Dallas ISD officials said, as a student there, Gilstrap Portley dated a 14-year-old classmate. The girl's mother said Gilstrap Portley, who was arrested Friday night, faces a charge of tampering with government records. He was booked into the Dallas County jail last week and has since bonded out. Because that nigga got a full-time job at night. That's why. Anyway, let's keep going. He was booked into the Dallas County. Hold on, I said that already. Sorry. According to court records, he has no previous criminal history. Gilstrap Portley enrolled at Skyline as Rashawn Richardson at a time where the district had opened its doors to hurricane evacuees, said Dallas ISD spokeswoman Robin Harris. He took that as an opportunity to gain access to our schools, she said. He was fairly savvy to be able to utilize the type of position, knowing that we were accepting Harvey students. In October, Harris said that Gilstrap Portley enrolled at Hillcrest High as a freshman. She said that Dallas ISD officials believe his primary motivation was to play basketball, though he told them he was homeless and had come to Dallas unaccompanied because of Hurricane Harvey. Gilstrap Portley, who appears to have, let me show you his picture before I finish this finish this article. So Gilstrap Portley, who appears to have had a collegiate basketball career at Dallas Christian College, was a star for Hillcrest's team for the 2017-2018 season. High school coaches voted him the District 11-5A Offensive Player of the Year. The Hillcrest Panthers finished the season with an 11-10 record. They had a bad record. Anyway, Dallas ISD officials said Gilstrap Portley's charade came to an end after one of his former coaches from North Mesquite High School saw him playing at a tournament in April and recognized him as one of his players who graduated from high school 7 years ago. The Mesquite coach alerted the Hillcrest basketball coach that one of my former players who graduated a time ago is playing for you, according to Harris. Philip Randall, a basketball coach at North Mesquite High School, said he wasn't the coach who saw Gilstrap Portley at the tournament, but that he did coach him until he graduated in 2011. He was a good kid. Randall said, I never had any problems out of him. That's why I was shocked when I heard that all of this came out because that's not the kid that I knew. He was dating a freshman girl, and he claimed he was a displaced Hurricane Harvey victim. So this nigga out here dating 14-year-old girls at the age of 26. And this motherfucker lying on government records talked about that he's a freshman in high school. Hey, man, look. At least he got his hoop dream off for the time that he did, and he'll be having to register the rest of his life because of that stupid. Look, you could have just went to school, dog. Like, you could have just went to school. You could have just played ball, you know what I'm saying, until your old coach saw who the fuck you were, which was a dumb idea. Like, come on, all of this is dumb. Like, why do you want to? So he played ball at his high school for 4 years. I'm pretty sure the Dallas Christian College is probably a JUCO. So he did 2 years there playing ball. He did 4 in high school. Look, it's done. Leave it alone. Just play ball at the YMCA or the park and call it a day. All right, just call it a day. But this motherfucker said, "Nah, I'm gonna relive my time in high school again." And this motherfucker actually had a fucking plan. He was in school for 9 fucking months until his old coach was like, "Hey, yo, I used to coach that kid. What the hell's he doing on your team?" Anyway, that's the first one. So here's the second one. 29-year-old woman arrested for allegedly posing as a high school student in New Jersey. It gets worse.
An adult in New Jersey busted for enrolling in a high school and posing as a student. The superintendent of New Brunswick Public Schools says she attended classes for 4 days before officials figured it out. So how could this happen? Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Charlesworth has a story and strong reaction.
29-year-old Haijong Shin just last week was a student here at New Brunswick High School. She actually enrolled, police say, using a fake birth certificate. This was the school superintendent.
By filing some false documents, an adult female posing as a student was able to be involved in our high school.
Shin was in the school attending as a student for 4 days before she was barred and arrested. The police department here in New Brunswick sent the following statement. Haijong Shin, 29, was charged with providing a false government document. Students here tell me they are well aware of what has happened, and they just don't feel safe.
Last week, supposedly, the administrators let in a 29-year-old, a Korean lady, and so basically, everybody was just scared.
This old woman came to the school. She was trying to get kids to link.
Some people gave their personal information to that lady.
It makes a lot of students feel insecure, and I get it.
This student said they had class together.
I had dance class with her. She used to just come in and sit next to the door, and then that's it.
Students also say they staged a protest in the school at 11 o'clock this morning. So what was the protest about?
It was about how the school isn't safe anymore, how it used to be.
The superintendent's office issued this. Last week, an adult female posing as a student filed false documents and so gained provisional admittance to our high school. State law prohibits a student being prevented from attending school based on lack of documentation. The superintendent's office goes on to say that there is a provisional 30-day period and that this was within that. Also, in the school board meeting, a review of protocol was mentioned.
We're going to take a look at our process as well.
All right. So,
all right.
Shit, that she had to be from the LGBT community. But anyway, it's strange. It's strange that this is going on. That a lot of these, she would be, well, both of them would probably be, no, she would be a millennial. The other guy would be a Gen Xer, I guess. I don't know. But wow, man. This story comes to us from The Guardian. 29-year-old woman arrested for allegedly posing as a high school student in New Jersey. The last video came from Eyewitness News ABC 7 New York. So, getting into this article, a 29-year-old woman who allegedly enrolled in a New Jersey high school and posed as a student has been arrested, authorities said this week. The woman, identified by police as Haijun Shin, faces a charge of providing a false government document with the intent to lie about her age in a case which again demonstrates that officials in real life do not respond kindly to the plots of movies such as 1999's Never Been Kissed and 1987's Hiding Out, being carried out under their watch. Or is it called? Oh yeah, it's called Hiding Out. Sorry. Investigators accused Shin of providing a fake birth certificate meant to convince officials that she was eligible to be enrolled at New Brunswick High School. The local school district superintendent said a public meeting on Tuesday that Shin had gone to classes for 4 days before she was caught. New Brunswick Today reporter Charlie Kratovly shared a video on Twitter of the superintendent's remarks. Shin spent most of her time at New Brunswick High meeting with counselors who were trying to learn more about her. Superintendent Aubrey Johnson said the school's staff ultimately determined that Shin had used fraudulent information to gain enrollment and immediately notified the appropriate authorities. Johnson added in a statement on Wednesday that was reported on by NBC News. Johnson's statement added that Shin had been charged and that police were still carrying out their investigation. He also said that his school district would review its enrollment process to get better at detecting false documentation earlier. A statement from police said that schools in New Jersey must immediately enroll unaccompanied children, even the absence of records normally required. However, school districts can then ask for documents meant to verify a student's age, and it was that option which proved that to be the downfall of Shin's alleged ruse. This is an unfortunate event, Johnson added. Communications have been provided to the parents of individuals that the young lady may have come in contact with, and communications have been provided to all high school parents, Johnson said. New Brunswick Today reported that students feared Shin may have been trying to lure young people into sex work. Ooh, that is a good goddamn point. That is a good point. Because if you look at it to those types of people, those bad people, young impressionable teenagers are probably for them the best to start pimping them. Just to say it like that. So she probably worked for whoever the fuck her pimp was, tried to lure kids into her home or to an undisclosed location, and either to be kidnapped or whatever. Like, good thing it took them too long. It took them 4 days, but they got her in time for the simple fact that who knows what could have happened if she would have lured, some young guys or some young girls to wherever, and they to be never to be seen again. So good thing that not only is the Dallas County making sure that they have that parents have to provide more documentation to make sure that the person that they're trying to enroll is of the age of a high school student. But good thing on New Brunswick's part as well, because they're doing the same. So with that being said, man, it's like this shit is scary. You gotta remember, who knows what organization that she likes, such as LGBTQ or NAMBLA or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what her motive could have been? Because some student probably could have gotten hurt if they didn't catch her in time. So we need to give the New Brunswick, New Brunswick High School or whatever, but let's just give whatever the county is, let's give them a big round of applause in the because who knows what could have happened if she was there, let's say 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would have known? All right, so getting back to the article, attempts to contact Shin for comment were unsuccessful on Friday, and it was unclear if an attorney is representing her. Her arrest came about 4 years after a man in his 20s posed as a high school student and was the best player on his campus basketball team. That was the story I just covered. The man in the case received a sentence of 6 year of a 6-year probation after he pleaded guilty to records tampering, and indecency with sexual contact with a 14-year-old girl who was a student at the Dallas school, according to reports in the news media. Now, good thing, homeboy, he's doing a 6-year probation, so he'll be in the house for the next 6 years. Anywhere that he lives after that, he'll have to register himself as a sex offender. So, good deal. All right, good fucking deal. And then it's this lady, she's just going around allowing herself to. Well, I won't even say she's allowing it. Whoever she works for, whatever organization or whatever crime organization she works for. Good thing they got her in the time. Hopefully they find more people that are involved with this, because this just isn't just off of her doing. I don't even think I showed her picture, but this is her. This is what's her name? Hey Shijon Shin, whatever the fuck her name is. Yeah, this is her. And good thing, hopefully police can get more people arrested for this bullshit that she did, and hopefully that the New Brunswick Township can sleep better at night now. But it gets worse, people. It gets worse. And I'll allow this gentleman to set this story up.
This one under one of the strangest stories I've ever heard of and talked about. Last Friday, we received an email from the mother of a player on the Churchland High School girls JV basketball team that an assistant coach on the team named Arlisha Boykins impersonated a 13-year-old player on the team that was out of town for a club basketball tournament. Here's video from that game. Churchland is in the black uniforms. Number one right there that just came up with the black block shot. We're told that as Arlisha Boykins. They were taking on Nansman River. This video has been edited to show you some of the highlights. Arlisha is apparently a 22-year-old young woman going up against 14 and 15-year-old girls. Now, we have confirmed that Boykins is no longer an employee of Portsmouth Public Schools. And since this game, the student athletes on the team and parents decided to just end the season. They will not be playing any more games this year. Portsmouth Public Schools did launch an investigation into this matter. The details have not been revealed by officials quite yet. Now, I spoke with the father of the 13-year-old girl that was being impersonated. Here's what he had to say about his reaction when he heard the news.
Coaches, always preach to the kids, about integrity and those type of things. So I was just shocked. I just need, an apology, because I haven't yet received one from, the overseer of the program or nothing. He just came out and just told us the stipulations of what was going to happen, but there was no apology issued personally to us, even in his presence.
We're going to follow up with this story if more information comes out. Those parents told me today that they are simply just seeking an apology from Churchland school officials.
All right. So, just so you guys know, Shorty scored 94 points that game. So it's a lot. I can't even keep my face straight on that. But this shit is getting out of hand, man. Like, it's like, where the fuck are the people at that well, no, I'm sorry. Wrong thought. Why are these motherfuckers doing this? Like, none of this makes any sense to me. Like, you got a motherfucker who wants to be a high school basketball star again. You got a Chinese lady with probably ill intent against students in New Jersey. And then you got this coach who said, fuck it. One of my players is out. I don't want to put any of my other players in because they whack. I'm gonna suit up and I'm gonna play in this game and I'm gonna dominate all these motherfuckers. Like, what is wrong with these motherfuckers, man? What is wrong with them, man? Like, it's just ridiculous, man. The world is getting very strange. And as you can see, it's strange as hell out there. Anyway, that wraps up the pre-show. We will be getting into the main show right now. So, the overview for the main show is police kill Tyre Nichols in brutal beating after he was pulled over in a routine traffic stop. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen. Oh, I'm sorry. That video that I just played about the coach who was playing, that comes from Wavy TV 10. All right. So, if you guys haven't seen the video, I won't personally be playing that video here tonight. There's various places that you can see the beating at all of its angles, and I will not be showing it here today. So if you guys want to either go to your computer, your tablet, whatever other device you have, your Xbox, your PlayStation, just go into YouTube and type in the video and watch it as you watch along here. But I will not be playing that video here, all right? It's very disgusting. It's distasteful, and a man was killed because of it. And it's just ridiculous, all right? So let's get into the topic at hand tonight. So my article tonight comes from CNN, but the video that I will be playing for you guys tonight comes from MSNBC. So a lot of people aren't asking this question. Who was Tyre Nichols? Like, it seems like no one cares. It just seems like people just want to talk about the beating of Tyre Nichols, the officers involved, and what was the motive behind it. Nobody wants to talk about the man himself. That's what I'll be talking about tonight. I will be talking about who was Tyre Nichols. So, with that being said, we will be looking at this video The last thing, remembering Tyre Nichols.
The last thing before we go tonight, remembering Tyre Nichols. With everything going on today, we did not want to forget the 29-year-old young man at the center of this tragedy. Tyre Nichols was a loving father to his 4-year-old son. He was the youngest of 4 children, the baby of his family. He worked for Federal Express, but he lived for his passions, skateboarding, photography, and beautiful sunsets. He was an inspiration to those who knew him, and I will let those who loved him most tell you in their own words.
He didn't have a negative bone in his body, like at all. Energetic, outgoing, funny, goofy, always had a smile on his face. He could have gave him the name Cheeseburger.
My son, I know everybody say mothers say they had a good son, everybody's son is good. But my son, he actually was a good boy. He had my name tattooed on his arm, and that made me proud because most kids don't put their mom's name. But he did. My son was a beautiful soul, and he touched everyone.
This is a great kid. I want kids and other people to know ain't nothing wrong with being yourself. Tyre brought something out of me to make me feel like, hey, you don't have to do that. You don't have to follow a trend to be loved. You can be yourself. You can skateboard, you can ice hockey, you can do whatever that you want to do. And people will still love you.
He was the kind of guy when you come in the door, you can't walk past him without getting a hug. You know, he's going to make sure if you get past him, he's going to make sure that you come back and give him a hug. He's just that kind of person, and everybody adored him.
All I know is my son was a great, great kid. He didn't deserve what he got. Now what he deserves is justice.
Justice for a beautiful life taken far too soon. Our thoughts are with Tyre's family and his community during this truly awful time. And for those of us who do get to go home safe tonight, let's be grateful.
All right. So you heard a little bit of who he was. He was a jovial person, a goofy guy that that had a lot of energy, a lot of life in him, a lot of love to give to everyone, and he was loved as well by his family. And it's just very tragic that his life had to be taken all because of whatever, So let's dive into this article by CNN. So who was Tyre Nichols? Nichols was the baby of his family, just as I am. I'm the baby of both my father's children and my mother's children. The youngest of 4 children, and he loved being a father to a son. His family said he was a good boy who spent his Saturdays doing laundry and getting ready for the week. His mother, Rovon Wells, said, "Does that sound like somebody that that police said did all these bad things?" Wells said, "Nobody's perfect, okay, but he was damn near." Nichols moved to Memphis before the COVID-19 pandemic and got stuck there when things shut down. His mother said, when he wasn't working the second shift at FedEx, Nichols enjoyed photography and skateboarding, something he had been doing since he was 6. Nichols had Crohn's disease, a digestive issue, and was a slim 140 to 145 pound despite his 6'3" height, his mother said. So, what led to Tyre Nichols' death? It's been almost 3 weeks since a traffic stop in Memphis led to a violent arrest, and 3 days later, the death of the 29-year-old black driver. Tyre Nichols was hospitalized after he was pulled over on January 7th, police have said. 5 Memphis police, and I should be showing these pictures. I don't know why I'm not doing that. So that's Tyre Nichols. These are the 5 police. 5 Memphis police officers who also are black were fired after an internal investigation and are facing criminal charges, including second-degree murder. Key questions remain unanswered as the nation has already been alerted to how police sometimes treat people of color, especially following the mass protest of 2020. The public waiting for police to release footage of the incident, which the footage has been released. Although rumors are circulating about Tyree and an alleged woman that is connected to one of the ex-officers. So that person will be the middle guy at the top. So the middle guy at the top over there is the person that they're speaking of. The rumors are confirmably not true, but Memphis DA said his office will be investigating it to see if there is a possible connection with the rumor. Speculations say Officer Haley, which is the middle black man, is shown in body cam footage taking pictures of Nichols and allegedly sending them to his ex that could share a connection with Nichols. So let's tackle that real fast. All right. So we can see in the footage that Haley did take a picture. Who knows who he sent it to? But if there is a connection, right? If there is a connection to Nichols and Haley by way of Haley's ex-girlfriend or baby mama, whoever it could be, right? What kind of hoe ass shit is that for you to brutally beat a man because you still got feelings for a woman that possibly doesn't have feelings for you? Like, this is the shit that when it comes to black people, we need to stop doing. Like, for real. Like, if you and a woman break up and the woman doesn't want anything to do with you, she just wants you to make sure that, you know, your child is taken care of and stuff like that, then that's what you should do. You shouldn't be out here fucking be like, this motherfucker act as if he was a thug in the street. And this is Haley I'm talking about. Like, he and the other 5, which I will bring back up here right now, or other 4. Well, 5 because there was a white guy there was a white officer that was there that has been placed on leave. Now, coincidence, right? I guess not. But for ex-officer Haley to brutally beat this man for no apparent fucking reason other than, let's say, the rumor is true, the nigga, you need to get the fuck over what the hell you're going through. Your ex-girlfriend don't want you, and let's say that her and Tyree were, you know, either hooking up or maybe just friends, or maybe they work together at the FedEx. Hey, nigga, shit like that happens at jobs. People get acquainted with each other, they get familiar with each other, and then most of the time some of the time they start dating. That's what happens on jobs. All right. Now let me tackle BD's comment real fast, and then I'll get right back into this. So my brother Big Dicky says, I grew up 2 hours from Memphis. You said for Memphis. 2 hours from Memphis. It's a dirty, dirty town. All types of shit goes down in Memphis. So that's what BD had to say. A first account from him. So let me get back to this. So for for Haley to convince his other 4 officers to help him beat this man down. And I haven't seen the video, but from the things of what I've heard from the video of what motherfuckers been talking about, it seems as though that this shit was a setup. Like, let me tell y'all something. One of my ex-girlfriends, she was a EMT. And she told me that before me and her started dating, her and her ex-boyfriend that works for the Wilmington Police Department here in Delaware, that she called him and asked him to look me up to see if I had any, if I was in jail, if I did any stints in jail, if I had any type of, whatever. Like, she wanted the full detail of who I was. Now, although I felt that, and I gave it to her. I told her how much of a of an asshole she was when she did that. I said, because all you had to do was ask. I said, why is it that you're subjecting me to being looked up into a system that I know that I'm in, possibly, because of me having a court date with some shit that, I've talked about too many fucking times. It's like, why is it that you are why is it that you looked me up instead of just asking me this? This is something that Haley possibly could have done. He probably could have learned Tyree's name from her, looked him up to see what his address was, what vehicle was underneath of his name, and he probably just waited. He probably found out by her where he worked, and then, he probably tailed him for a few days until he went through with the beating. That's a possibility. And I'll say this allegedly, since all this is still under investigation. I say all of this allegedly. But it's a possibility that Haley could have tell this guy, look some information up about this guy, and then waited to strike. Now, with all of this being out there and all of this, these rumors circulating that maybe, Tyree was fooling around with the ex-girlfriend, and now the DA is taking those rumors into account and stuff like that. But have they asked Haley and any of these other officers any questions about that? Now, a lot of people want to bring up, like, these guys, they had complaints against them and stuff like that. Look, a lot of police officers have complaints against them. So I don't even want to bring that up here on my channel, because a lot of officers deal with that, and it's not something where I want to pinpoint on as if they're bad people. Like, although they did this, and yes, they are bad people, but it's like, what officer do you know doesn't have some sort of write up or something where it's a patron or a citizen complaining about the treatment that they got during either them being pulled over or whatever it could be. So that's not what I'm going to be pinpointing on tonight. I'm going to be pinpointing on some other shit. So, with Haley being in jail along with his other cohorts, his father came out and said earlier this week that the rumors aren't true, that Tyree didn't know the lady. But as I said earlier, the DA is investigating that just to see if there is some sort of connection and motive between why Tyree was singled out amongst all the other citizens from Haley to be brutally beaten along with his other officers. So with his dad coming out and saying that, then we have to respect him. Well, his stepdad, we have to respect that fact. But for Haley to then convince his fellow officers to beat up a man that they don't even know, it says a lot about not only the Memphis Police Department, but let's look at all of the other incidents that has happened when it comes to black men being brutalized by police, such as who was it? I'm sorry, George Floyd, Philando Castile, which happened in the same town, but it happened in different years. I remember the whole Philando Castile story. He was being helpful to the police officer that was giving him issue. He told the man, which they have an open carry, which in Minneapolis, Minnesota is an open carry state. So he told the officer, "Sir, I have a gun in the car. Like, although I'm with my family, I do have my gun." That when he went to go and reach for his wallet, that's when the cops shot him. With George Floyd, we all know that story. Derek Chauvin kneeled on his neck for 9 minutes and 18 seconds. Or was it 28 seconds? It was one of the two. But it's like, let's look at all these other ones. Sandra Bland, she was in a routine traffic stop. She decided not to put her cigarette out when the officer approached her car. And the officer continued to tell her to put it out. He then put her in handcuffs, and then an hour or so later, she takes mug shots, and in one of the mug shots looks like she's laying down, and you can see in that mug shot that her eyes are rolled back into her head, which means that she lost her life. Let's look at all these other police brutality stories. You got one guy, was it in North Carolina? He got shot in his back from running from an officer. That officer got paid leave. Now, only in recent years, and I can say a whole lot of other people, but it seems like in recent years, well, within the recent year, that police started getting in trouble for this. Let's bring up the what was the man's name in Texas? He got shot by the cop because she thought that he was in her apartment. I forgot that young man's name, but if you guys know it, put it in the chat. What's going on, Shinobi Gamer? How's it going, man? So yeah, let's look at the who? I forgot that man's name, but this, y'all saw the case where the brother hugged the officer, the judge handed her a Bible and hugged her as well. Like, it was a lot of bullshit within that whole debacle. But let's look at that. The man, he was known to love singing church music and stuff like that. He was sitting on the couch eating some ice cream, watching one of his shows. This woman bursts into his house, shoots him dead, to then look after the fact, oh, this isn't my apartment. Oh, wow. I meant to kill him because I thought he was in my house, but this isn't my house. Wow. Okay, well, what happens from here? Bitch, you go to jail. That's what happens. You killed this man in cold blood. Like, I'm glad in these recent or within the recent year or so, or years, 2 years maybe, that these officers are being locked up for their wrongdoings against the citizens. Now, although people think that cops are here to protect and serve, I will tell you bullshit. They're not. And I would direct you to I would direct you to the Supreme Court ruling of that. They are not here to protect and serve. All right? They are not here to protect the community and serve the citizens in that community. No, they are to protect businesses and shit like that and serve the people who pay them, which is us. Well, not us. That was a bad analogy. They're here to protect the corporations and serve their masters, whoever their masters may be. So, I don't know. Let's keep going. So here's what we know about this. All right. Now the police confrontation. Confrontation. Sorry. On January 7th, around 8:30 p.m., Memphis officers pulled over a vehicle for suspected reckless driving, according to the statement from Memphis police. A confrontation occurred between officers and the vehicle's driver, later identified as Nichols, who then fled on foot. According to Memphis police, officers apprehended him and another confrontation occurred. Excuse me. Resulting in Nichols' arrest, police said. The incident happened a few blocks away from Lemon on Friday. We've looked at cameras, we've looked at body-worn cameras. Even if something occurred before this stop, we've been unable to substantiate that at this time. Now, let's get into that. The one part that they don't show is the police cruiser footage. If you guys don't know, you'll know now. On police cars, they have cameras on the front of it, and I believe a microphone is outside of the car, as well as a camera in the back. That's just so, if they pull over somebody, they are recorded each time with the stop, not only with body cam, but from police cruiser footage as well. Just in case, the car wants to speed off, or if the officer gets hurt during the stop or whatever, they have body cam footage as well as police cruiser footage of the incident. So, the one thing that they don't show in the video of what I understand is they don't show the initial stop. They just show him being pulled out of the car and then being beaten. Although the beginning portion of that is important, because then we'll know what was going on before Nichols got pulled out of his car and was brutally beaten by all 5 officers. Well, let's keep going. Let's see. We've taken a pretty intensive look to determine the probable cause, and we have not been able to substantiate that she said. It doesn't mean that something didn't happen, but there is no proof. Also unclear are who was involved in the initial police encounter, how far Nichols fled on foot, how officers apprehended him, how long these confrontations lasted, or why officers felt compelled to confront Nichols twice. Now that is a good question. As it said earlier that I think I skipped a whole line. Let's see. Officers apprehended him and another confrontation occurred, resulting in Nichols' arrest, police said. The incident happened a few blocks away from his home. Memphis Police Chief Charlene C.J. Davis told CNN's Don Lemon on Friday. I think that's what I missed when I read that. So let's get into the confrontation. Why did 2 confrontations happen in one night? So as I said, I didn't see the video, but from comprehension, I can think that Tyre was initially stopped by Haley. He was told that he was driving reckless. He probably got rough with him, pulled him out of the car, whatever. I don't know if Nichols resisted arrest or not. Like, that's not shown in the video. Some people are saying yes, he was resisting arrest, but look, I don't know. That's the second part of the footage. Or sorry, the second part of the confrontation. So, also, from what people are speaking about on podcasts or vlogs or whatever, that Nichols was scared. Like, he was scared and he didn't know what was going on, to the point that he was calling for his mom or whatever, which they said he was right in front of his house, if not on the side of the house. And his stepdad said that they didn't hear him when that was going on, when he was being beaten outside of the house. So also with that being said, why did why did Haley decide that now's his chance to beat some sense into Nichols? Why was that his motive? Why was Haley so butthurt over another man being with a woman that he used to be with that no longer wants him? That's just something to think about. Also, two confrontations happened, they said. So that means the initial confrontation when Haley put him in handcuffs, and let's say he got put in the back of his car. Like I said, I didn't see the footage. And then they drove him 2 blocks away to then beat on him. He called for backup. Let's say the backup was all the guys that he told about the incident. Yeah, some motherfucker fucking on my bitch, and I'm gonna get some get back on him. Let's say that happened, right? So then he takes him 2 blocks away from the house, or 2 blocks away, and he then starts to beat on him to the point to where he's unconscious and he's lifeless. So why is it that there are unclear and unanswered questions when it comes to why this man did what he did to this other black man? That is like the big thing that I'm looking at here. It's like, why is it that no one's speaking about this? So, it's just something to think about. So let's continue. Beyond police body cam footage, police looked at surveillance cameras around the city, at businesses, anything that could help paint a picture about what happened before the traffic stop, Davis said. After the officers stopped Nichols' car, there is a physical interaction involving Nichols as the officers are trying to get him out of the car, but it's still unknown what the original reason was for the stop. The chief said, from the beginning of the encounter, the chief said the officers involved were riled up. The escalation was already at a high level, Davis said. The nature of the traffic stop was very aggressive with loud communication, and it escalated from there, she said. During the initial altercation involving several officers, pepper spray was deployed and Nichols ran. Shelby County District Attorney Stephen Mulroy said at a Thursday news conference. Nichols got away, but the officers found him again at another location, and at that point there was an amount of aggression that is unexplainable, he said. There was another altercation at Nichols. Hold on. There was another altercation at a nearby location at which the serious injuries were experienced by Mr. Nichols. Mulroy continued. After some time of waiting around afterward, he was taken away by an ambulance. I heard him call out for his mom, Davis said, referring to the video. Just the disregard for humanity, that's what pulls at your heartstrings and makes you wonder, why was a sense of care and concern for the individual just absent from the situation by all who went to the scene? There then was an elapsed period before getting medical help for Nichols after he was injured during the traffic stop by Memphis police officer, Mulroy said. After some time of waiting around afterwards, he was taken away by an ambulance, he said. On January 10th, 3 days after the stop, Nichols died due to injuries sustained in the use of force incident with officers. According to a Tennessee Bureau of Investigation statement, Nichols suffered extensive bleeding caused by a severe beating, according to preliminary results of an autopsy commissioned by attorneys for his family. We can state the preliminary findings indicate Tyre suffered extensive bleeding caused by a severe beating, and that his that his observed injuries are consistent with what the family and attorneys witnessed on the video of his fatal encounter with police on January 7th, 2023. Attorney Benjamin Crump said in a statement, CNN has asked Crump for a copy of the autopsy commissioned by the family, but he said the full report is not yet ready. Officials have also not released Nichols' autopsy. So let's move forward. All 5 officers are facing charges in Nichols' death. After its initial investigation, Memphis police identified and fired 5 officers involved in the traffic stop due to their violation of multiple department policies. Officers Tredarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith were terminated for failing in their extensive use of force, duty to intervene, and duty to render aid, the department said in a statement. Martin III, Smith, Bean, Haley, and Mills Jr. have each been charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, 2 charges of aggravated kidnapping, 2 charges of official misconduct, and 1 charge of official oppression. According to both Shelby County Criminal Court and Shelby County Jail records, the Memphis Police Association, the union represents the officers, declined to comment on the termination beyond saying that the city of Memphis and Nichols' family deserve to know the complete account of the events leading up to his death and what may have contributed to it. According to a statement, all 5 officers have been released on bond. I don't know why they didn't just keep them in there. In a joint news conference Thursday afternoon, Blake Baldwin, an attorney for Mills and Williams Massey, Martin's attorney, said they have not yet watched the video of the police encounter. No one out there that night intended for Tyre Nichols to die, Massey said. But hold the fuck up, yo, to this motherfucking lawyer. If they didn't determine or try, to beat him to a pulp to where he would be killed or die 3 days later, Why the fuck did they, participate in the shit? Like, we didn't think he was gonna die after. What the fuck you mean, y'all niggas? From what I've heard, these motherfuckers were drawing back so fucking far and hitting this motherfucker that you could hear the punches. To the fact that I've heard also that these motherfuckers picked them up and then was wailing on them like that. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with these motherfuckers, yo? What is wrong with them? To the point of he has so many injuries, y'all have a regard for life, so y'all let him lay on the street for however many fucking minutes that he did, and then y'all called the ambulance. Oh, well, let's call the ambulance for him. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these niggas, yo? And the Memphis police, the Memphis jail allowed these motherfuckers to walk because they got bond? Nah. How about no bond? How about that? How about no bond for these motherfuckers because they did that fucking beating intentionally? Let's just say that. They did it intentionally. For what cause? We have no idea because all we know, 2 incidents went down. He got pulled over, got locked up, probably got put into the car 2 blocks over. They then take him, Haley takes him out, and the other 4, along with Haley, start beating this motherfucker up. What the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all have not only surveillance camera footage from the light post, you also have body cam footage. And not only that, I'm pretty sure y'all had police cruiser footage. So what is it that says, let's give these motherfuckers bond? How about no bond? How about that? These motherfuckers should be in jail. Look, for all we know, these motherfuckers could flee the country. For all we know. Will we ever know? No, because news is a little slow. Your mainstream news, it's a little slow. So with that being said, it's like, what the hell is wrong with America's police department or police departments? Because with these 5 guys, let me show the picture again. From what I've heard, these motherfuckers, when they joined the Scorpion team, which was led by the what's the lady's name? The chief, the police chief, Sherilyn, or whatever the fuck her name is. Hold on, let me get her name. Sherilyn Davis. Sherilyn Davis comes from Atlanta. Sherilyn Davis got fired from whatever precinct in Atlanta. She then moved to Memphis, Tennessee, enrolled into their police department by, I guess, right, getting an application, putting her credentials and shit on there. Got hired on. Which she had a team in Atlanta. I believe she was a police chief in Atlanta. She had a team in Atlanta. I forgot what that team was called, but it mirrored the Scorpion team. Not only did the team in Atlanta get disbanded, but now this team, the Scorpion team, got disbanded because of the amount of complaints that they've gotten. Because they probably was doing the same bullshit as the officer were doing in Atlanta. But we don't have anything to substantiate any of this, anything that I'm saying right now. So it's basically just falling on deaf ears right now. But I would say this. If these 5 brutally beat Nichols like this, who else have they done this to? I'm pretty sure there's other people that could come out, other men or women that could come out and say, yeah, I got unfair treatment by these officers as well. Like, where are those accounts? Where are those people at? Where are they to not come out and be like, well, you know, I had an incident with them as well. I had an issue with them as well. Like, where's that at? Where's the people who have wrote complaints against these guys? Like, where are they at? So, Big Dicky says they're gonna need the Scorpions for all the gangsters in Memphis, but what they did to old boy was wrong as fuck. And I agree. Because there is no rhyme or reason of why they did what they did. Like, it makes no sense to the common man. You apprehended him at the scene of where you stopped him. Why did you then put him in the car, go 2 blocks over, pull him out, and then everybody starts wailing on him? It makes no sense. Like a kid could look at this and be like, hold the fuck up. Why they doing that? That don't even look right. A kid could do this. Now, a lot of people are saying that this looked personal. And I can't disagree. I can't disagree. This shit looked personal. It looked very personal. And I haven't even seen the footage, but from what people have been talking about online, you know, in on Twitter or, you know, here on YouTube or whatever, like, this shit like the way that people was explaining it, it looks personal. And they're saying that Haley is the culprit. I'll bring his picture back up. Hold on, not even that picture. Let me just bring the other picture up. They're saying that Haley is the culprit behind all this. He's the mastermind behind all of this. So he got so butthurt to the point that he would take a man's life because Haley still has feelings for his baby mama. His baby mama probably doesn't display the same feelings for him. So he feels as though that it's okay to go and then beat up other men that want to be with that woman. That doesn't even make sense. Let me take y'all back to the story that I told you guys a couple weeks ago of how an ex-girlfriend of mine's baby dad wanted to start trouble, but I wound up getting upper hand in the whole entire fucking argument. The reason why this motherfucker was trying so fucking hard to get me out of the picture is because he still wanted my ex-girlfriend. Well, at the time she was my girlfriend, but his ex-girlfriend and baby mother. But at the time, it's like, yo, like, just chill the fuck out. She don't want you no more. That's why I'm here. But certain motherfuckers like that dude that tried to fight me, which he wouldn't have won anyway. And Officer Haley, what's Haley? Demetrius, just like Demetrius, they can't get the context clues of what women are trying to say to them. They don't want y'all. So why are you trying? Or why are you making it harder for another guy to come in? Like, why are you doing that? Like, okay, let's say that the rumors are true. And your baby mama was smitten over Tyree. It's probably because Tyree was the total opposite of who the fuck you are. That's probably why. But, you know, you can only speculate at this point because we don't have all of the evidence out right now. But let's continue. Bolin described Mills as a respected father who was devastated to be accused of killing. Other officers' attorneys did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Davis expected serious charges. I did, the chief said. The charges that were placed at this, hold on, the charges that were placed, at least administrative charges, were probably the most severe that I've seen in my career, but they were appropriate, Davis said. It's still unclear what role each officer played in the incident. There is no evidence now that the officers involved had acted this way in the past, Davis said. Adding, police are taking a deeper dive into previous arrests, previous video camera footage. It's unclear to what extent those employees were taking care of Nichols and what. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Of Nichols and what type of aid was rendered, if any at all. Let's talk about that. Because not only did the officers get fired, I also heard that three fire department employees, which are on the EMS team, got fired as well. These three people right here. I immediately don't know their names, nor do I know if it's in the article, but we'll see what's up. All right, we'll see what's up. So Davis said she assessed that the EMTs failed to render proper care. They began to render care and concern, but it was long after several minutes, which was concerning for all of us that we see several failures where individuals did not exercise the amount of care that we are responsible for. Sorry for all the mess ups. During a period of time before the EMS service arrived on the scene, fire is on scene, and they are there with Tyre and the police officers before EMS arriving. Nichols' family attorney Antonio Romanucci Antonio Romanucci told CNN, adding there were limitations on how much he could say. While she has met with the officers, the chief said she didn't know them personally. But never mind. While she was met with officers, the chief said she did not know. I said that already. From her impressions of them, she said they seemed like other officers and were respectful when they saw her, but what she saw in the video was more of a groupthink mentality where no one took a step to intervene. The Memphis Fire Department employees who were part of Nichols' initial patient care have been relieved of duty pending the outcome of an internal investigation. Department Public Information Officer Quanisha Ward told CNN's Nadia Romero. It's a lot of fucking crazy ass names in this shit. I've heard the name Quanisha. I've never seen it spelled before. Quanesha. I did not know you spelled it like that. I thought it was QU. But anyway, Quanisha. How Nichols' family learned of the violent encounter. Officers with the Memphis Police Department went to the home of Rovon Wells, Nichols' mother, between 8 and 9 p.m. on January 7th to tell her about Nichols' arrest. His mother told Lemon Friday. Officers told Wells her son was arrested for a DUI, pepper sprayed, and tased. because of that, they said he was going to the hospital and would later be taken to booking at the police station, she said. They then asked me if was he on any type of drugs or anything of that nature, because they were saying it was so difficult to put the handcuffs on him and he had this amount of energies, superhuman energy. She said it's always superhuman when it comes to black people. I don't know why the fuck that is always said. It's always superhuman when it comes to us. I don't understand. Like, how is it superhuman strength? It could be, we're doing physical activities and stuff like that to where, we're able to get at a certain holds and shit. Just saying. You know what I mean? But that's always put on us. Like, he's on drugs, he's on PCP, he has superhuman strength. We have to shoot him. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, y'all had, like, the amount of de-escalation and the amount of de-escalation and learning laws and learning their policies, they don't do. The most thing that police do, they go to the fucking shooting range and see how many holes they can put in a fucking target. That's the amount. Like, the Scorpion team spent more time looking at slides than they did with de-escalation tactics, learning how to talk people down and stuff like that, making sure that the situation's safe. They did some target practice and fight training as well. They spent more time in a slideshow than what their job would basically entail. So, just saying. Let's get back to the article. What they were describing was not my son, so I was very confused. Officer said she couldn't go to the hospital, Wells said, and when asked where her son was, they said he was nearby but wouldn't tell her exactly where. Now that I'm putting things together, I believe they were trying to cover it up when they first came to my door, she said. Around 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wells said a doctor called to summon her to the hospital to see her son. The doctor told me that my son had gone into cardiac arrest and that his kidneys were failing, she said. This doesn't sound consistent to somebody being tased or pepper sprayed, as the police had told her. When my husband and I got to the hospital and I saw my son, he was already gone, Wells said. They had beat him into a pulp. Wells described her son's horrific injuries when she saw him in the hospital. He had bruises all over him. His head was swollen like a watermelon. His neck was busted because of the swelling. They broke his neck. My son's nose looked like an S, she said. They just beat the crap out of him. And so when I saw that, I knew my son was gone. The end. Even if he did live, he would have been a vegetable. Now let's get into this. What police have said since the incident. On January 18th, the Department of Justice said a civil rights investigation was opened into Nichols' death. Acknowledging the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's ongoing effort, the U.S. Attorney's Office, in coordination with the FBI Memphis Field Office and the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice, has opened a civil rights investigation. U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Kevin G. Ritz, said, declining to provide further details. The Memphis police chief condemned the action. Sorry, wow. condemned the actions of the officers involved. It was outrage. I was outraged. It was incomprehensible to me. It was unconscionable, Davis said. I felt that I need to do something and do something quickly. I don't think I've witnessed anything of that nature in my career. Davis said the video showing the beating of Tyre Nichols is as bad, if not worse, than the 1991 video showing Los Angeles police beating of Rodney King. Now, a lot of people have been saying that the beating is a lot worse than Rodney King, a motorist whose savage encounter with police sparked outrage after footage was released. Now, if you guys are too young to know about that situation, just look it up on YouTube. For 30 to 40 some odd minutes, the Los Angeles Police Department in 1991, I believe, beat Rodney King basically unconscious. This man, when you see his face, in interviews after the fact, his face was all swollen up from the beating. He had to get, I think, multiple surgeries and stuff. They broke his leg. They tased the nigga a lot of times. They was beating him with the billy clubs back in the day, which those billy clubs they used to use instead of the retractable ones. Now they're actual martial arts weapons. They're called what are they called? Tampas or something like that, I think they're called. So if y'all watch that and then compare it to Tyre Nichols, y'all will see that maybe, I will say, I don't know which one's worse, to be honest. They're both bad. So let's keep going. I was in law enforcement during the Rodney King incident, and it's very much aligned with that same type of behavior, she said. I would say it's about the same, if not worse. You're going to see acts that defy humanity. You're going to see a disregard for life, the duty of care that we're all sworn to, and a level of physical interaction that's above and beyond what is required in law enforcement, she said, of the footage. I'm sure, as I said before, individuals watching will feel what the family felt, and if you don't, you're not a human being. So, family and attorneys have seen footage of the incident. So, CNN has obtained portions of the police scanner audio leading up to Nichols' arrest. Portions of the audio are inaudible, but you can hear a brief part of the conversation between an officer and the dispatcher, which I don't even think that shit's even important to listen to. An officer can be heard saying, "We got one black male running," and giving instructions to run that car registration tag and see what's the address, followed by what sounds like Nichols in distress. It's not clear where this audio fits in the sequence of the incident or which officer is speaking. Family attorneys did watch the video on Monday and described it as heinous. Nichols was tased, pepper sprayed, and restrained, Crump said, and he too compared it to the LAPD beating of Rodney King. Crump described the video as appalling, deplorable, and heinous. He said Wells, Nichols' mother, was unable to get through viewing the first minute of the footage after hearing Nichols ask, "What did I do?" At the end of the footage, Nichols can be heard calling for his mother 3 times. The attorney said Nichols fled from the police, according to Rodney. Hold on. According to Rodney Wells, I thought he said Rodney King. I said, what the fuck? Anyway, his stepfather, because he was afraid. Our son ran because he was scared for his life. Rodney Wells said Monday. He did not run because he was trying to get rid of hold on. He did not run because he was trying to get rid of no drugs, no guns, no any of that. He ran because he was scared for his life. And when you see the video, you will see why he was scared for his life. Rodney Wells didn't want his wife to see the video, but attorneys asked that she tried to watch as much of it as possible. She heard one word and had to leave out of the room, Rodney Wells said. And that was when they initially pulled him out of the car. He said, "What did I do?" In Rodney Wells' own words, this is what is on the video. So I have some portions of what was going on in text form. So this is what was said. 1 second. So he said, "What did I do? Why are y'all doing this to me? What did I do?" And they proceeded to snatch him out of the car and was trying to wrestle him to the ground. And he got scared, so he was athletic enough to get out of their situation and ran. And he was trying to run home because he was 3 blocks from the house when they stopped him. Wells continued, and when I saw the police officer, they have this little, like, a stick, this metal thing that they pull out, which is a retractable baton. I saw them pull that out and started beating my son with it. And if you guys have ever been hit with one of those damn things, those motherfuckers hurt. I had 2 of those motherfuckers. I had 2 of those things, and I retracted it, and I just hit my leg as hard as I could with it, and that shit hurt. It left a fucking welt on my my leg for a couple weeks. So where was I? So the house they. When I saw the police officer, they had the little stick, metal thing that they pulled out. I saw them pull that out and started beating my son with it. And I saw officers hitting on him. I saw officers kicking him. One officer kicked him like he was kicking a football a couple times, Wells told Don Lemon. But the most telling thing about the video to me was the fact that it was maybe 10 officers on the scene and nobody tried to stop it, or even after they beat him and they propped him up against the car, no one rendered aid to him whatsoever. They walked around smoking cigarettes like it was all calm and, like, bragging about what happened. The stepfather said he was sitting there and then he slumped over and an officer walked over to him and said, "Sit back up," while he was handcuffed. So he had to prop him back up, and he slumped over again, and they propped him back up again, but no one was rendering aid, he continued. I saw some fire department people come out there, and they just walked around and nobody showed him any aid. And they supposed to be trained in first aid. By the time the paramedic truck pulled up, that's when we couldn't see anything because the paramedic truck blocked the camera, Rodney Wells said. Nichols' family wants the officers charged with murder. Family attorney Rodney Romanucci told CNN's Aaron Burnett Wednesday evening. Video footage of the incident will be released on YouTube in 4 parts, showing the initial stop. Okay, so they did put the initial stop up. That's good. Showing the initial stop near Nichols' home and body-worn camera footage of the individuals at the scene. Sometime after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, which was last week, Davis confirmed. In timing the release, we thought about schools, we thought about businesses, and we felt like Friday afternoon, if there hold on, thought about Friday afternoon if there was individuals who decided they wanted to peacefully protest. At least other individuals would have gone home. Schools would be out, and it wouldn't be as disruptive as it would have been if we released it on a Wednesday afternoon. A lot of the people's questions about what exactly happened will, of course, be answered once people see the video. Mulroy told CNN's Laura Coates on Tuesday night, noting he believes the city will release enough footage to show the entirety of the incident from the very beginning to the very end. So that's what's going on. If you got, like I said earlier, if you guys want to watch the footage, you can. I personally don't want to see the footage. Once you've seen, Philando Castile and Tamir Rice and like, I'm not getting numb to it. It's getting very like it seems as though around election time, all this shit is starting up again. And one thing I want to ask: where the fuck is Black Lives Matter at? It's not like these motherfuckers are gonna do anything other than steal money. But where's Black Lives Matter at? Where's what who else can I bring up? You already got Benjamin Crump and the boys out there. Al Sharpton did the eulogy. It's like it's all this bullshit being played over again that we've seen in 2020, that we've seen in 2019, that we've seen in 2018, that we've seen in 2017, that we've seen in 2016. If I didn't say 16 already, 2015 and 2014, all over again. It's just the same shit. And unless and listen to me, people, please listen to what the fuck I'm saying right now. Unless y'all want this to continue to happen, we gotta start busting caps in these motherfucking cops' asses. Like, it's just what's gonna have to happen to let them know that we're not gonna put up with this shit anymore. And also, we as citizens, we do need to recognize the police as an authority figure. We do have to recognize that, but we also need them to understand that we aren't going to be putting up with their bullshit. So, I'm just saying, man, like it's just a bunch of foolishness going on here out in the world. Motherfuckers are starting to talk about if they're going to start running for president. So a lot of this shit is going to start ramping back up again. So you guys, to the whole Nichols family, or to the Wells family, I should say, or to Tyree's family, I should say. I will say a prayer for you guys, like I've been saying for the past few nights. I know y'all just laid him to rest yesterday, but I know grief is a process that you go through alone. So no one knows the amount of grief that any of you guys will be going through. But just know that y'all always have a shoulder to cry on over here on the Marcus Speaks Live podcast. All right. So, with that being said, people, we're out of here. Like, nobody's wants to come up. I would have thought people would have had their cameras ready to come and talk, but they don't. But anyway, with that being said, I will end this show. So, people, if you are out there, please listen up. If you could, like it's on the screen now, like this video, subscribe if you're new here, and share this to your social medias. But also, if you could, please listen up. Every Friday, I do a game stream called Marcus Speaks Play, and as well on Saturdays, I do this podcast, Marcus Speaks Live. You can catch both of those shows at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the only time you can see these shows. So I hope you guys pay attention to what's going on, because hey, I'm here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the weekends. So you guys should be able to come through and come talk to me. All right, it's 9:30 now. I'm about to have some fun. About to eat. About to have some probably play some video games, maybe, whatever. Also, if you could, please go to the Marcus Speaks channel and subscribe if you are new here. The Marcus Speaks Play channel will be going down starting March 1st. March 1st is when I will be going away with the Marcus Speaks Play channel, only because no traffic's going through there, no one's subscribing. So I'm telling all of those people to come over here. I will reiterate that. Probably tomorrow, I will write on the community tab and let them know, hey, please subscribe to Marcus Speaks, right? Also, underneath of the Marcus Speaks Play channel link is the Marcus Speaks Rumble channel link. I want you guys to go over to Rumble. My first 25 subscribers will allow me to start streaming live to Rumble. So, if you guys can do that for me, I would gladly appreciate it, because on Rumble, if things get spicy over here, what we're talking about, we can just cut this stream, go right over to Rumble, and we can continue the show, right? So I hope you guys do that one favor for me, because I will highly appreciate that. Also, if you ever want to come up here and speak on the show, or talk about the topics that I was talking about, you can do that by hitting the link that is in the live chat right now. It's pinned to the top, and it's in the blue rectangle. Hit that, it'll expand, you'll see the link, hit that link, then you'll come back here. But there are rules when you do that. Those 3 rules are: you must be on camera at all times, right? That means here on the backstage, as well as if you want to on the main stage. What I mean by that is, number 2, if you don't want to be on camera, that is fine. But you still have to be on camera back here on the backstage. I have to do speaking with, so I can let you up. There's a question back here that you will have to answer before me bringing you up. It basically just states if you would like to be on camera, if you would not like to be on camera. And with that information, with your name attached to your answer, that better lets me know who wants to be on camera, who doesn't want to be on camera. So that helps me out, so please help me help you. And the last thing is, please silence all background noise, because I need you guys to know I'm trying to run at least a semi-professional show here. So at least do me that one solid by turning anything down in the background and make sure that you can fully hear me the best way as possible. So wear headphones, corded headphones at that, and make sure that you have me turned down in the back. You have me on your television, tablet, another phone device, or computer. Make sure that I'm turned down in the back. Or turn down any noise that you have going on in the background. That means turning your kids off or your dog as well, alright? Then, with that being said, I'll bring you on up and come up and speak. Also, like this video, again, share this video, and share and subscribe if you are new here. Scrolling tickets starting over. That is for you. I hope you guys will pay attention to that. And before I get out of here, I would like to close out by saying, please focus on getting to that money. All right, getting to that moolah, getting to that guap. Because I know, money makes the world go round. Also, please, if you could, drink more water for health purposes. All right. Because the more water you drink, you can lose more weight, if you guys don't know that. Also, mind your own goddamn business. That's for mental health concerns. And with the last part of this, please do your own research. It helps out in the long run. I have been Marcus. This has been Marcus Speaks. And I will catch you guys next week on next week's show. All right? Thanks for watching. Hold on, wrong one. Thanks for watching, and I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Peace out. I meant next week, not tomorrow. Peace out.